Alright, y'all, so today we are going to make a Season 4.3 tier list with the release of Kid Buu right here. Along with that, we had the Season 4.3 patch notes, which were very silly. I will say the game meta hasn't really changed much after this patch note, which I'm not really surprised by looking at the patch notes here, but hey, we can go ahead and talk about a tier list including Kid Buu regardless. There's a few things I've changed from my last tier list that I do want to mention. So yeah, again, a couple of things before that. We have Z, S, A, and B tier. I feel like B tier is like the tier where it's like characters probably need to be buffed, but like A and up, very usable still. Like Z is like meta, but like S and A are still very competitive, I feel like, in the meta generally. So it just depends on which matchups you're on, etc. Then this is also S rank lobbies tier list, more so in pre-made, so duos, trios, and then quads. This is not a solo queue tier list. This is not like a C rank tier list or D rank tier list, right? I have a video idea for something like that. Maybe we'll hop into it whenever I get the opportunity. But for now, this is just gonna be tier lists under those conditions. So a lot of you guys' experience may be a lot different than mine, you know? Anyways, we'll be hopping right into it and let's just start. So I think we'll start off with B tier characters that I feel like need buffs or just need help in general. If I'm looking here, I think Broly, I would say Gatopo, 18, Deborah. Then for tanks, I think it's Baby for sure, still needs help. We'll talk about that. Then for technicals, I feel like we're good for the most part. I'm not really that big of a fan of Gotenks, but I would say maybe Frieza might need a bit of help here. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. I feel pretty good about this. Now, the thing about these characters specifically, and again, I'm maybe a little harsher in Broly than other people may be. You could argue Broly like at the end of A tier, but I feel like Broly needs a buff, right? Again, we could do B. B is for buff. Wait, I'm trying to think of it. B means buff them. Yeah, I think that works. That works. Yeah. Okay. Now, the thing about Broly is he just gets melted. I already had him open. He just gets melted too easily. Like, that's it. He doesn't do enough damage to constitute him as like a character that I feel like is intended to be a team fighter to get melted. And even then, even if he wasn't necessarily a team fighter, he still gets melted regardless by like most top tiers in the game. Most characters in general still do energy blast damage, right? I mean, if we think about all the characters that have released over the past few months since Broly came out. So we say Broly came out, we're at Super Vegito, who does a lot of energy-based damage. We have Kefla, who does a lot of energy-based damage. Bardock doesn't really do that much energy-based damage himself, but his ultimate can do pretty decent damage, honestly. After that, we have God Goku, God Vegeta, Kid Buu. I actually haven't checked. Are his skills like specified as energy-based? I don't think we could check that here. I don't think that's something that like shows in this specifically. No, but I don't know if they count as physical or, you know, I'm actually literally gonna check that right now. I have not actually bothered to check that specifically. Is Kid Buu another like potential Broly counter? Now the thing about Broly that's good for him is he could actually probably be decent against Kid Buu because he's able to get rid of a bunch of the like Kid Buu bits and pieces around the map, so you can maybe give Broly his like flowers there. I'm not trying to look at Broly actually. Kid Buu, do these count as energy? No, this one counts as energy. Oh my god, poor Broly. And obviously this as well, also debuffing him. It just this guy only having strike defense up, I think it really hurts. It really hurts him, man. If he has energy defense up and he could actually like consistently like eat a lot more of these energy attacks, I think that could be really good for him, because again, like I said, he's not doing the craziest amount of damage, but if you allow him to live through a lot of these like major energy blasts, especially with God Goku getting above 16 billion times, that'd be really nice for him. But unfortunately, I think it's easy for him to get jumped. God Topo just doesn't have enough burst. I feel like his ultimate is a bit too slow for it to be a really good secure. Skill 3, you could just vanish out of it. You could escape it easily. even if you like have someone lock them down with this, like let's say you have a Bardock with this guy or something and he like rats the enemy, or a God Vegeta that pulls the enemy in, he does damage based off the damage he receives. So if someone's being obstructed, it actually takes away from Topo a little bit in terms of the damage he would do, even if it makes it harder for the attack to hit, which you would prefer the attack to hit anyways. But like there's ways to escape it. Even if you're getting pulled in, if you time the vanish, I'm pretty sure you can still escape it though. So it pretty much has to be like a wrath, right? Or like God Vegeta's Godbind. Honestly, skill 1 is pretty useless. If this skill 1 was changed to like detonate mark of destructions on the enemies, like it's just like you hit the enemy with the skill 1 and then it bursts the mark of destructions on the enemy, I think that'd be so cool. Just like an avenue for the skill 1 to be useful, for him to burst the damage down, and I think that could be great. It could be like, you know, okay, you apply DOT with the skill 2, and then you could like choose if you want to burst the enemy or if you want them to like die slowly, and maybe you'll do more damage if you let the DOT hit, but if you burst it, you could do less damage than the DOT would. You could at least get that burst in there, which could be useful in certain situations. So I think that'd be pretty cool for Topo, honestly, and obviously the ult needs to be a little faster. 18, I feel like this 18, I don't know, maybe some way for her to get extra health, or maybe movement speed up to get out of situations. Imagine if this was like an AoE, because this pretty much just tracks one enemy. I don't know if it hits multiple enemies, actually. I've never experienced an 18 ulting multiple enemies with this. It applies a stagger. Imagine if this was more so like an AoE. I think that'd be really cool. Like just like allowing her to like AoE stagger. Maybe it sounds insane, but I just think she needs something to kind of pin enemies down, and then she could like follow up and kill them with this ult doesn't kill, or this could be like used to start like jumping someone a little bit easier with the team or something. They also got rid of this where it applies no skills, which is really stupid as well. Maybe destructiveness could be a bit stronger. Like I just feel like late game she falls off. Like that's just the biggest thing. Like early game she's good, late game she falls off. She needs something. Deborah, he's either going to be really strong or really bad. It's like, okay, you have the petrification gauge up, he's really good. If you don't, he sucks. And there's no in between. His ult's decent. I mean, like, you could do things with him for sure. I just feel like it's like he's balanced in the way that he's balanced around the petrification gauge, because the gauge itself is so strong and the damage you do during it is so strong, but he's so weak in every other spot, especially once you get late game, kind of like 18. So that's how I feel about Deborah. Baby, even though he got the buffs, I think the buffs are cool. He just like, I just feel like his design, whilst it's interesting, maybe doesn't just really fit tank enough. Like, he has the healing and the slow, which is nice. This guy feels so much like more suited to be a potential technical character than a tank. Imagine if you could have like a team of like Baby plus, like kind of like Majin Buu, like a team where you would have like Majin Buu plus 2 TPS plus like God Vegeta or Bardock or something, but then instead of Majin Buu you have Baby there. I think Baby would be really interesting as a technical, honestly. I just think this guy is just a bit too weak, and his possession is not strong enough. Like, okay, they buffed the healing that he does, and then they increased this. So it's like, okay, this kind of was like a nothing buff, because okay, even though the time the target is released from possession after fully healing on HP is increased here, actually no, it's ally here that's healed. I'm stupid as hell. This is good still, but like after his own HP is healed, like he has what, 8-second cooldown to get out of the enemy. I think this is a nice buff, right? Overall, this doesn't really do that much. This doesn't really do that much. Like, these are nothing buffs. I think Baby needs a way to land this more consistently. That'd be really nice for him. Or if he has a more consistent way of getting extra HP, he can get that here, which is really nice for him. But yeah, it sucks a little bit. So I feel like if he has a more consistent way to land this man, instead of having to land a finisher, if he got an assist and he could choose when to possess someone, that'd be awesome. Or I saw someone say like, okay, if he could possess the same ally that he possessed before for like a much lower cooldown, that could be really cool too. But yeah, I just think still like Baby in general, he just gets mogged by other tanks, especially like even Cell when Cell gets powered up. I just feel like he does get mogged, and you still kind of put yourself in like a 3v4 situation if you're in a team fight, and then it's just not that great, honestly, compared to like what other teams are able to do. Having a fourth character just move around, it's just so good in those situations. That's my opinion though. Frieza, I think needs something. What would I give Frieza though? Like, the thing about Frieza is the Doria is decent. Maybe they could rebuff Zarbon again. Zarbon doesn't do that much, honestly. I think it's pretty easy to avoid Zarbon. Maybe they could do something for their survivability. That'd be nice. This is fine. Supernova's not too bad, but that's kind of like the biggest thing here. I think Zarbon might get a buff here. If Zarbon just like was what he was in season 1, Frieza actually could potentially be a threat. Because the door is actually pretty decent right now. But yeah, that's what I would say for Frieza, honestly. It's just that if you know what you're doing against Frieza, and again, you're in comms, you could just take down the Zarbon and Doria. GG cooked. He's out of there. Which is unfortunate for him. So that's kind of it. Imagine if Zarbon the Doria got extra health for max kicks and bursts. That could be really funny. So next we have E tier though. Who am I putting in this E tier? I would say we got Pickle Man in here. I think Kale goes in here. I think Bojack goes in here. Gamma's going here, I feel like. Yeah, I think Gamma's going here. Then in terms of tanks, I'm actually gonna put Vegeta here, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Zamasu, and then Cell. Then for technicals, I think Kid Gohan goes here outside of hammers, of course. Get Go tanks, and then we get Fat Boo. Yeah, I think this works. This works for me. Could we like make this like this? No, if I do this, it's a bit okay. I'm trying to fit everything in here, but it's fine. We'll do this for now. This looks good to me. Okay, in terms of characters, I want to point out, we can just kind of talk about these guys a little quick. Gammas are still good. I feel like the skill to cooldown adjustment, I guess, hurts them a little bit, but it's not like the biggest deal of all time. I mean, could you move Gammas up? I think you could. I just feel like Gammas, you don't just like use them outside of like skill 2 boost. Like I feel like they could do like decent damage. The core breaker is really nice. They can be very tanky as well. They're just missing something. I just like can't put my finger on it, but I just like, I do not feel threatened by Gammas like that. I think as like in previous seasons, just me personally. And it's just like a slight like me moving them down. That's just how I feel. They're not necessarily like super mega tanky in this energy based meta either. Still, like it's not like they don't have energy. Like it's not like if you take a look here again at the Gammas, I don't believe they get like a defense up on their kit. They get the extra HP and Gamma Impact, which is really nice. They had decent farming. Yeah, again, they combine their HP stats, which is why, you know, they have a lot of health, but I feel like you could like melt them. So you definitely can. Maybe if they had like, you know, some form of defense up when they use a special pose, even though they have a lot of this HP, could be interesting. They do go immune to all, if I'm not mistaken, when this is activated though. It's funny, this is still old, but yeah, maybe am I going off like old like translations here by using the site? Maybe. Piccolo right here, I just think he gets caught easily. Same thing with Kale. They both kind of get caught easily. I mean, you could argue Kale has a better way to get out of those situations. Kale has really good secure, Piccolo has really good secure, but I just think it's super easy to catch them. And the thing about Piccolo is like arguably just in terms of like in a vacuum, especially from canon, best boss secure, right? But because of that, you see Piccolo, you're aware of the Piccolo. The first thing you do is take out the Piccolo. Could you use that to your advantage as the team who has the Piccolo? Yeah, you know, if they're all jumping your Piccolo, maybe you could focus on backdooring instead, or even on the boss itself. But they take off that Piccolo, then you're at a disadvantage there. So, you know, it's not like he's the tankiest character. He's able to get out very well. Kale, she's good at just securing guys and could even be decent at securing bosses. She could do a lot of burst damage. I like the skill 2 buff for her. I think she could be a menace, right? Same with Piccolo, by the way. Like, these characters aren't bad. They're an A tier. I'm just talking about why they're not like an S tier or Z tier. I just think that she doesn't have the survivability, right? Bojack's really good at like holding like God of Destructions or kind of protecting a certain area. He could even do pretty decent burst damage. Honestly, I do like Bojack's burst damage as well, but he doesn't have like almost any mobility. So I just think it's so hard for him to escape certain situations, especially like, you know, God Vegeta or a character like slowing him down, pulling him in, just is really tough for him. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta after the nerfs. I'm not really a fan of those nerfs for him. I just think like that stun, it's just a lot more difficult to go ahead and land. He's a bit better at farming. His ultimate damage I think was also decreased. I just like he got nerfs that weren't necessarily needed, and I think he was like an S tier, but now I just think he goes down to A tier. There's also the fact that, I mean, we'll get to God Goku, but God Goku could bypass his shield, because if you guys didn't know, God Goku's skill 3 allows you to go through penetrate walls. The ability to penetrate walls, right? That actually goes through God Vegeta's oh no, we're here. Arcane Shot, or yeah, God Shoot the ability to penetrate walls, and then Arcane Shot the ability to penetrate enemies. That allows God Goku to just shoot through Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's like entire key wall, which is like a big part of his kit. And God Goku's really good right now, so that really sucks for this guy in general. Super Saiyan Vegeta, I think it's just a decent character. Like, there's nothing bad about him. There's nothing good about him. He's just like a good character, good for farming. I really like the skill 1 slow. He could be a little cockroach at times. His ultimate is really nice, right? And again, I should clarify, I don't want to be like, oh, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta sucks, right? I think Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is so good, like in general, but he got an unnecessary nerf, honestly. Zamasu did actually get a buff. We could talk about it a little bit here. The Zamasu buff helped him. I think for sure. Increases DOT damage, which is nice. It allows him to apply a little bit extra pressure. His skill 2 cooldown was decreased, which I think is because of the actual like adjustment to skill 2 cooldown. I think this is good for him. Like, these are just good buffs for him, but I'm not gonna say they're like game changing buffs where he's like, oh, now he's up another tier. I just think it helps him out in team fights and things like that. So same thing, you know, it's like he didn't really get any adjustment. He's no different from the last patch, but he's able to get a lot of back farm a lot easier now since there's so much extra farm in the map. I think it's easier for Cell to get his transformation off, and then he starts looking really good from there, build up his passive, etc. Krillin is just a decent character, like nothing really to say. The mines are nice. The only issue with Krillin is I feel like you know, if we're gonna say this is not necessarily in order, but if I was gonna put Krillin anywhere, he'd probably be on the bottom of these guys, just because there's so many, like I said, energy blasts going around that Krillin's mines kind of get counted pretty easily. Krillin has like a decent-ish, like decent is like maybe giving him a little bit leeway, but like the ultimate could be like a okay secure, I guess I would say. Skill 3 is decent for getting first hit as well. Kid Gohan, Gotenks, and then Majin Buu. I mean, Majin Buu's skill 2 cooldown still really effective, but he's not like, I don't think as strong post like the skill 2 cooldown adjustment, but he's still good. Gotenks specifically, I think it looks a lot better with the ultimate buff. As I see more and more with Gotenks, he just looks better, especially with like God Vegeta around. Like you have the God, you have the God Bind and then the pull in, and then you have Gotenks with the Ghost plus his ultimate is like a lot easier to land now. That Gotenks silence ult, dude, is so useful, especially in like team fights, man. It's just so much better. It really helps him out a lot. I still think he needs a slight adjustment, but like to skill 1. They fixed Gotenks skill 1. He's actually looking a lot better too. Kid Gohan is just generally good. Like, he gets a good attack buff, he's tanky, he gets energy defense up, I believe, as well, with the skill 3, which I find to be very useful. I really like the energy defense up that this guy provides. I think it's a little bit underrated, personally, but that's just me. So yeah, that's why I have this guy here in A tier, but I don't think he's S tier worthy. Now, we can talk about S tier here. This one's a little tough. I think maybe we'll cover Z and S tier and talk about why these characters are in Z or S. And we'll kind of go into the line from here. So Daima is a Z tier character. I think Daima just, like, I'm not going to say he has, like, no weaknesses, but, like, the only thing that I could really think of that counters Daima directly is 17, where he turns Daima's buffs into debuffs. So then, okay, Daima's energy defense up and strike defense up turn into defense down, which would be really good when you're attacking this guy. So that's pretty funny. But other than that, I mean, Daima just, he has really good secure of bosses and like team fights with this. He's immune to all during it, and then he just does more damage. Like, this is such a good secure. Skill 1, skill 3 combo is pretty nasty. This guy moves around the map at max, just like Mach speed. Like, he's faster than tacticals in some situations with this skill 1, skill 3 combo. Just cause he could outrange you with the powerful dance being a bit silly here. He even has like a built-in mechanic against enemies that are out leveling him. So even if you're forced into a team fight, you actually could get higher strike damage than them, which is not the craziest thing of all time, because at the end of the day, you still want to use these skills to go ahead and kill the enemy. But I think it's funny that he has an answer to being out leveled by the enemy team. It's not like a great answer, but it's something there. It's just like as the principle of it. But yeah, Daima Goku is really good. Who would have thought? Remember when season 0, a lot of people thought this guy was bad. It's crazy. That's crazy. That was funny. Next, Super Saiyan Goku. I think I'll put S tier. I don't think he's Z tier, but he's like really close. I think he's like the closest character to Z tier, probably. No, I would not say that, but he's very high up there. I mean, again, I think this guy, he has so many answers to everything. He has a really good secure defense up here is so good. He can be very tanky as well, honestly, even for a DPS. The slow here is really good. This is just like good early game secure for like burst damage on Kais, or even like bosses. Like you throw the Spirit Bomb down, skill 2 to skill 1, like he just does a lot of damage, bro. Like, oh my god, transformation's really nice too. The passive skill, it actually make you do a lot of extra damage. Like I feel like people don't necessarily take as big of an advantage of this as you could, but this passive skill, whew, can become very nasty. But I just don't think he's Z tier. I feel like maybe it's closer to me on wanting Z tier to be bloated, but I feel like this guy doesn't have as strong of just a general power as the Z tier characters, is what I would say. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I feel like he is Z tier for me. I think I was thinking about it, right? Yesterday, even on stream, I was like, I feel like I would take Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 3 over Super Saiyan Goku, but I think that's just because of my personal playstyle. I feel like, in general, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, with all the buffs he's received, I mean, he basically had all the nerfs he's gotten reverted, but then he also had a passive skill buff. So this guy does more damage, I feel like, now than he even did on release. He has a better instant transmission than he did on release too. He has more farm around him, boss's spawn leader, which allows him to get his Dragon Fist a lot easier for bosses. There's situations, in many situations, where you could even have him level 7 at the first boss, which is really good for this guy. Superstar really benefits him. Now, I think early game is this guy's biggest issue, but if you just take advantage of all the farm that's available in the back now, this guy becomes an absolute menace. This guy gets really, really good. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy for him to snowball into a good spot. I mean, you could even just not run, like if you want to, you don't have to even run defense cards in this guy. Snowball, Giant Slayer, backstab, IT out. Yeah, I mean, either that, generally just like a great character, man. Like he has a way to get out of any situation. Kind of like similar to Diamond Goku. I feel like Diamond Goku has a way to get out of any situation. That's where like maybe Super Saiyan Goku doesn't have that level of answer as these guys. But yeah, next we have God Goku. I think God Goku doesn't have that like these two, but this guy does so much damage. He does so much damage now. It's insane. They buffed him like 6,000 times. Not really like 6,000 times, but he was good. He was a good character, and they kept buffing him. They continued to buff this guy. They buffed his skill 1, less cooldown, faster shoot time, cooldown decrease on his skill 3. Then, right now, they buffed the duration of his passive skill and the cooldown reduction, and they decreased the cooldown on his God Kamehameha. So he's able to get his passive skill up a lot faster now. The passive skill lasts longer. He's able to use more of his skills in a short time frame. He's able to use his God Kamehameha much more often, which leads him to doing way more damage in general. The Dragon Enhance being 13 seconds is really good for this guy, because again, that allows him to power up his skills, which you could use more often now. He's so good with Elder Kai as well. You could spam skills, get the gauge up super easily in team fights. And oh my god, the burst damage he does with Arcane Shot was already it's already so good. Like, the thing is that they didn't even buff his damage. They just like buffed his cooldown, so he's able to do more damage in a short time frame, which helps him incredibly a lot. Again, the biggest issue is that he doesn't have a way to escape, but I feel like it's a thing of you're locked in there with him. Like he's not locked in there with you. If you catch him, you're locked in there with him. Worst case scenario, this guy pops ult, jumps up in the air, kills you. Especially with teammates around. God Vegeta. I mean, we just do this. Like, we all know God Vegeta is Z tier. These guys work perfectly together. But like, come on. That is like the best bottom lane in the game right now. God Vegeta, Super Saiyan Goku. God Goku? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Super Vegito, I think, is also up here. I really like Super Vegito. Best team fighter in the game, in my opinion. I feel like very hard to kill him. I think really good slow. Just like generally a good character. He's really good at diving. He's probably like honestly, he's like a really good answer to God Goku. He's able to just dive on God Goku. Just get so much increased health in these team fights as well, especially with Majin Buu around. I think that really helps. We'll talk about again Majin Buu later, but again, we know Majin Buu's parts kind of split around the map. Super Vegito is able to take advantage of that. Yeah, that's a pretty big thing. I think it helps him, honestly. I really like Super Vegito. Super Vegito in this meta is really good, and like being able to reset his cooldowns, I feel like are so massive. It's a little bit hard to land his ultimate, and he could be a little susceptible to CC for sure. But if like these two are just like susceptible to like CC and stuff like that, lockdown anyways still. We also have Trunks. I would say Trunks is S tier. Not much to say. Trunks is just a good character. Nothing has changed about him compared to the last list. Just good do good damage, good secure. I like him. Oob's up here. Kefla's here. I would say they're better than Trunks though. Kefla between Super Saiyan Goku and Kefla, I would say Kefla, but yeah, I think the Kefla nerf definitely like didn't help her, but she's still like able to move around the map pretty fast. She's able to get farm really well. I mean, you could argue Kefla is still Z tier. I'm gonna say I keep Kefla in S tier though, because I feel like before she had a way to just escape any situation as well. Now she doesn't really have that. Would I still say Kefla Z tier? I almost really want to say it, but again, we take a look at these patch notes as well for Kefla. Like her damage also just generally decreased here. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you definitely could feel the differences. She's still really good though. Oob is still good. Biggest issue with Oob is I feel like God Vegeta just like directly counters him, and you see God Vegeta like every match. Like God Vegeta's skill 2 counters his skill 3, which was like his main escapage, and he has anti-CC, which is nice, but like, I mean that's like I can only take you so far sometimes, unfortunately for Oob. Bardock's still really good. I think Caulifla and Cooler are actually really good. Honestly, I actually really like them in this meta. I think they could be very competitive. Caulifla especially, I think, has impressed me recently. Her energy barrier can get shot through by God Goku still, kind of like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but it applies a slow, which I think is really nice. That slow is really good. Her damage for burst damage and skill 2 is actually not bad at all. Like her ultimate could even do some pretty decent damage now. Like it could be used to pick someone off. Like yesterday I was literally in a match as God Goku. Caulifla just like kept ulting me. And then I just kept getting melted. That's pretty funny. For technicals, I think we're gonna go ahead and put it Ultimate Gohan 17 there, then Kid Buu here. That's a list. Kid Buu. I think his best tech, in my opinion. He just has a lot that he could do. I feel like between him being easier and harder to use, like he's harder to use probably than these two. These characters, honestly, I think he's a bit more like tricky to use, quote unquote tricky, but I mean, very basically kind of like Daima, skill 1, skill 3, right? He applies a debuff with the parts as well. All defense down here. All defense down here in an area that does not only continuous damage, but applies attack down, which is really fun. This is really good for boss secure, because again, you're also lowering the enemy's attack damage that they do to bosses as well. He gets immune to wall during this. Movement speed down if there's clones around that grabs enemies, really funny. He has a stun here. This gives him extra HP, which is really nice for him. The only thing for Kid Buu is that he could be a bit squishy if he gets caught, but like I think he has like ways to outpower the enemy if they do try to catch him, especially when you have an ally around, because of all these parts, because of the extra HP. But you can't get caught. That's like the biggest thing. But I feel like, you know, Hit could still get caught. So Gohan can get caught. 17 is probably the character that just can't get caught as easily because of his barrier. But I just think that Kid Buu's doing more, obviously. Like, I also would say that these two are just doing more than 17 too, just in general, with like team fights and stuff. And it also depends on like who you're running, right? Like, for example, like if you're facing a Daima Goku, 17 arguably could be like the best in S tier here against Daima Goku specifically. I would say for sure, right? Because he just inverts his buffs, right? But yeah, I also tested 17 against God Vegeta's buffs and his passive. It doesn't like inert them, so that really sucks. But oh well. Anyways, this is my list. I feel pretty good about this. You can make changes, right? I think there's many substitutions you can make around here. This is not necessarily like in order, like, oh yeah, I'm saying 100% KO is better than Bojack, 100% Daima is better than Super Saiyan 3. I think there are situations you could put some above the other, but this is just a general idea here. When I say God Goku's best DPS, probably at this point. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know what you think, and of course, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.